Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Pages to Pixels podcast. I'm Keertana, that is Rohan, and today we are going to talk about Aryan Khan's Bastards of Bollywood. Um, it is a TV show about the film industry. It's a satire, like a satirical take on how like the entirety of Bollywood works.
Right.
Uh, and I absolutely loved it. What did you think?
I was very mixed on it. It was because it's one of those shows. I did describe it as a bit of a guilty pleasure show, where I'm watching
Hmm.
it and I'm cringing and I'm like, "This is not good. This is not good. This is not good." And then the episode ends and I'm like, "All right, next." It's there was no point where I was like, "Okay, I don't want to keep watching it,"
Right.
because it does have this weird addictive quality, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, it is. I watched the entirety of it in one night. Like I stayed up the whole night and I just like blew through all the episodes. I
Oh, I
loved it
hadn't go
because I
that
felt
quick, but definitely took me less than a week.
yeah, no, it's I I love how it just did not take itself seriously. Um, that's like if you like I'm also like a perpetual Shah Rukh Khan fan. So every time like
Mhm.
a reference was made or like something that he said somewhere, whatever, right? Like a little nudge to him, like little nod to him, like I was like, yes, this is what I'm here for. And I remember in a very early interview at some point, he had said that the only way to stay successful, like in this industry, is to learn not to take yourself seriously. And I feel like that was like, I don't know, that was shoved in my face left, right, and center throughout. And I don't know, it was just such a light watch. It's been so long since I indulged in something, and yeah, I like thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, so for me, I think I had a bit of a different take. I thought it was super entertaining. I was never bored at one point. I just kind of wish that I'm not saying that it should have been like serious, but I kind of wish that the style that is happening within the movies, like
Mm,
the movies within the show, that is the fake movies, and um the actual real life. I think because it was
mhm,
showing this is Bollywood making movies, I almost wish that was a little bit different. Um,
mhm.
just more of a contrast. It doesn't necessarily have to be serious. It doesn't need to be grounded, but
Right.
just different.
Mhm.
I think that
Yeah.
was what like I found. I like yeah, that's like the one of the things that I wish that they did because I felt like everything blended together too much.
Right.
Um, yeah.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see the logic. It didn't really bother me. I was in for the ride, especially I think was it the first episode when he makes the NCB joke, and I was like, I'm so happy that he was able to make fun of himself there.
Yeah.
I think that,
The
and
first
also
episode that
it's
where he
filled
makes
with
what? What
sorry,
joke? Which joke are you?
NCB. Um,
What's that one?
Do you are you familiar with what happened? So in 2020, when Sushant Singh Rajput died, there was this random like outrage about drugs in Bollywood.
Hmm.
And
I
Shah
remember
Rukh's
he was
son,
arrested. Yeah.
Aryan Khan, who made the yeah, so he got arrested,
Yeah, I know that.
and his whole defense during that case was that he was just around people who were consuming whatever
Oh yeah.
narcotics, and because he was the better known person, they arrested him. And he basically recreated that in one of the
Oh okay.
scenes. And even
Yeah,
the
I just didn't
actor who
know
plays,
that was what it's
like,
called.
yeah, so even the actor that played like the officer that arrested this whatever guy, um, looked like the same person who headed the NCB when Ayan Khan was arrested.
Oh
So it was a giant fuck you, yeah.
yeah, that's
And I don't know,
that's
there's
kind of
just
funny.
something about that I
I
like. Yeah.
yeah, I think the edit made that joke really great because it was because
Mhm.
I knew the last lines of that episode was it's Bollywood, everyone does drugs. Directed by Aryan
Yeah.
Khan.
Aryan Khan, exactly. No, it was I really enjoyed it. Also, the show is just filled with cameos, which makes me it made me feel
What was your
really
favorite?
immersed in the world. Oh, that's a great question. Um, what was yours? Do you have an answer?
Oh yeah, easily. It's Aryan Khan and Rajamouli,
And
where they're
Rajmouli,
just
yeah,
arguing what's better. I think idli
yeah,
sambar over vada pav. The
yeah,
correct answer is vada pav.
mhm,
Uh,
mhm. It's it's not, but okay. I think my favorite I think my favorite was Shah Rukh Khan because same thing. He showed up, he got made
yeah.
like he got roasted for like 10 minutes and then he just left.
Oh
And so there was that other so basically when Amir Khan's Sitare Zameen Par came out, Shah Rukh Khan did this like little promo run where he went and he met all the actors. And in that video, if you watch him, there's a ton of makeup on him, and you can see that even in the little like 10-minute promotional content thing that he made, there's like a ton of like airbrushing and stuff like that. So that video went viral, and everybody started making fun of how much makeup he has on. So in the show, when Shah Rukh is like, "Oh, will these people even recognize me without makeup?" Like it was a nod to that.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I also like the Imran Hashmi being the intimacy coordinator
that was funny. Yeah, I
bit.
feel like that was
Yeah.
less even. I wouldn't even consider that a cameo. I feel like he had too
Yeah, I think it
much
was
of
a
a role. That's
full-fledged
like a
role.
guest
Yeah.
star. Yeah,
Mhm. The Salman Khan thing, I thought it just felt like he walked on set and they just gave him something to do.
yeah.
Uh, it was,
That was
but no, I
probably the
also like
weakest.
I would say so. The filmfare bit was good. I thought it was an. I thought Om Shanti Om did it better, but
I agree.
I still thought it was funny. In terms of story, it was interesting, like because it was written to be almost a drama, like a full-fledged
Yeah,
drama, but
and
tonally it
kind of
was
a
not.
romantic drama towards the last
Yeah.
like 3 episodes, which is almost half the show.
Did you think that the leads had any chemistry?
Uh, I think they had just enough.
hmm
Just
Yeah.
enough to where it's good enough to keep watching, but
hmm
I would not. Hey, I would not say it was enough to actually make me super invested.
Right. I felt the same way. I thought in the beginning it was interesting because I really liked the round table scene where I mean it is supposed to be a take on something that happened between Ananya Pandey and Siddhant Chaturvedi. But basically, I like the idea that she was already on this round table before she had any films made.
Yeah.
And I thought I mean basically I think that with their relationship it picked up well, but as it went, I thought the writing got a little like lazy with them. Um, but you know,
Sorry.
is she okay?
Yeah, she's just trying to
Okay.
break through the fence again.
So yeah, no, I thought overall it was a fun watch. So like if we get into like the nitty-gritty of it, I thought um the show did feel very drawn out. I don't know if there was enough conflict or drama for it to go on for as long as it did. I think every time the story got a little slow, it just relied on either a cameo or like an action sequence to kind of pick up the pace again.
Yeah, I guess it's funny now that you mention it. Um, it does make sense. I do agree, but it didn't necessarily. I didn't feel that way while watching it. I didn't necessarily think I had some issues with the show, like I said, with the
She's
style.
pulling your blanket.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
I
Oh
think I'll
my
just
God, she
hold her.
has, yeah, no,
I
she
don't think
has
she'll show
zero
up.
chill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll leave this in. Um,
Yep.
but
She got a
no,
haircut, so
oh, look at her. She has a little Halloween like thing on. That's so
yeah,
cute. Um, anyway, I will get distracted. Okay, no.
yeah.
What was I saying? Shoot.
No, I think I was saying it's like,
Yeah.
um, I have some issues with the style. I kind of wish it was either more grounded or bombastic, just in a different way.
hmm
Um,
hmm
like I mean, I've mentioned my favorite cameo is Amir Khan, and and that's because I feel like I just enjoyed the simplicity of it. It wasn't an actor doing
hmm
some like crazy thing. It was just like it was a conversation that felt very relatable.
Right. Also very real.
Um,
Like I would. Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead. Because
Um,
I feel like when we look at like actors like him or like S.S. Rajamouli or whoever these people, like you assume that they're having these insanely intellectual like
yeah,
conversations. So it was nice for it not to be that.
yeah. Um, and but I never really felt like it dragged. Again, I don't think I was ever bored. I thought episode one was a little long. And that is, I think, the longest episode. I think that one is like a full hour, and the others
Mm,
are like 40 minutes.
mm.
Yeah.
Do you know who the so like there've been theories, right? Because obviously this is a commentary on Bollywood, so people have been trying to figure out like who each character is based on. Um, and the most interesting theory I found was, the main bad guy, the guy who runs the studio,
Yeah.
with the slick back hair.
Uh-huh.
Um, People are saying it's supposed to be Aditya Chopra, who owns like Yash Raj Films.
Oh,
Um,
potentially.
yeah, like initially when I saw it, I didn't clock that, but then I watched a video breaking down like some of the references in the show, and now it makes sense, which makes me because they're known for like bringing actors in and doing like multiple year contracts and then just not like following through with them, where these actors are perpetually stuck. Um, I think Shraddha Kapoor was a part of one of those, if I'm not wrong, she was a part of one of those contracts and then she voluntarily broke it and stepped out. So yes, that was one little like piece of information that I came across.
Oh yeah, I mean that is I see. I didn't know all of this. I
Hmm.
think I watch like the Bollywood movies, but I don't really follow that much
Yeah.
of the Bollywood
Mhm.
news. That's why it's like
Yeah.
I mean I know kind of the gist of it because it's more
Mhm.
power and um like what happens in all industries with power, money, and especially in in film when there are people who so desperately want to do something like star in a movie. You see stuff like that happen. So it didn't surprise
Mhm.
me. It just I guess yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know it was specifically that one guy.
Yeah.
I just kind of figured it's just hey, the movie executives in general.
I mean, this is like I nobody's confirmed or denied anything. These are just speculations. Um,
Yeah, but I didn't know that there was a very specific guy who
yeah.
really was known for doing that.
Yeah, that studio is actually known for doing that.
Hmm.
Um, what would you say what your favorite episode was?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mm,
Um, it's weird. It's hard for me to choose. It's hard for me to think of them. I do feel like the episodes kind of blend together. Like I know the
hmm.
first one and the last one, but it's like
Yeah,
okay, it's difficult for me to point out like, hey, was this part in this episode or this part in that
right.
episode?
Hmm.
Um, I think I might think if I have to choose, then um, is it the round table episode? That's episode two.
I think it was, yeah. I think so. It's the same thing in my head too. Like it's all mixed up.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that was kind of fun.
Hmm.
It was um and like it was fun to see that see that scene. And then I actually thought
Hmm.
of I know you mentioned Anand Pandey and Siddhant Chaturvedi. I thought of Rajkumar Rao and
Uh-huh.
I can't remember her name. Sonam Kapoor. Um I thought of that when I saw the episode.
I remember that interview. I think that
Yeah.
was actually painful to watch. Um, I remember like when it first came out, somebody was saying this man deserves an Oscar for just keeping a straight face in this
Oh
interview.
yeah.
Uh, but no, I mean, unfortunately, I think there's more than one instances of stuff like that that's happened. I think my favorite episode was the Filmfare episode because I thought it was so
That was a
dramatic.
great one too.
Uh,
Yeah.
and and I it just I feel like at that point he was like just like fuck it, like I'm just gonna write whatever.
Right.
And like I enjoyed the indulgence of it. Did you see the twist coming?
The with like the interview
The
with the
incest.
mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I did not.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Did you?
Um, I okay, so the thing is, the hopeful part of me thought that there was something bigger. I'll explain. Basically, I was like, this guy. So basically, what they tell us that he doesn't want her to be with this man because he's like not from an established family, whatever, right? Like
Hmm.
he wants his daughter to be with this like billionaire guy. I just thought after a point, um, that his character was like the dad. So, what was his name? I don't remember. But basically, the dad.
Uh,
He was
Ajit Talwar.
Ajay
Yeah,
Talwar. There
Bobby
it
Deol.
is. Yeah.
Played by Bobby Deol.
Yeah. So
Played well,
so I just
actually.
thought that what's that?
Played well. I
He did,
thought,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I just after a point I thought, okay, he's getting obsessive. Like he knows his daughter wants to date this person. And
yeah,
like if it gets to the point that he's like locking her up to keep her away from this guy, like I thought either this is just really like they just really leaned into the big bad guy, or like or there's something more to this. And I was hoping there'd be more to it because otherwise it just becomes one of those villains that like don't make sense after a point. Um, so I did not think that there was going to be an incest angle to it. I just
yeah.
thought that there was more to the story. But I was actually kind of happy they went for it and they went there.
I really did not like that reveal. It just didn't. It did not work for me at all.
I thought it was hilarious.
It was
Um,
just. It was just so silly. I feel.
it, yeah, but the whole show's silly. I think it was consistent. I think it was
Yeah, but I
great.
feel like it went
Um,
for me. It well, I don't know. Some of the silly, a lot of the silliness didn't work for me. I think it's because I don't really enjoy. It's not that I
mhm,
don't enjoy silliness, but I don't enjoy the style of
mhm.
Bollywood and the silliness, especially not. I think because I feel like this movie was reminding me a lot of like 2000s, early
Yeah,
2010s stuff.
yeah.
That's never been that's never been
Hmm.
something I loved. So
Hmm.
that's why I don't think it worked for me. But for me, that moment was just like it was just like next level silly.
I thought it was hilarious. I was just like, yeah, this is what Game of Thrones should have been. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, no, I don't know, it was great. I especially loved the old school music video that they shot just to make their relationship
Oh yeah.
look real. I would have enjoyed a few more like real life movie like references, but I feel like at that point, like they must have spent so much money on this show that they were just like, we can't sit and get the rights for any of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. It's interesting because I think I think it was maybe the content head of Netflix or maybe the CEO or something like that. He had visited Mumbai last year, and in an interview that he did with like he was on this podcast and he was talking about having bought the show, and he was talking about how he felt like it was a risk because people don't really like to watch like TV like movies or shows about the film industry because it's not a world people can relate to. But I was very pleasantly surprised to see this show doing well.
Mhm.
Because I am a sucker for shows like that. Like I
I think it's a
enjoyed the
case by case
studio. Yeah.
basis. So I
Yeah,
also
true,
I do
true,
think
true.
it's
Yeah.
because I think there is a I think what really turns off a lot of audiences um is when there's a movie that really like that really goes, oh my God, movies are like the greatest gift uh
Yeah.
to Earth by God. And it's like then I think people are like, oh, okay, get over it. But when it's like, hey, movies are awesome, and then just like trying to have fun, even trying to poke fun at the industry or celebrities. I think
Hmm.
I think that's when people actually enjoy it. Even that's kind of how I am, honestly.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I
Well, I
think
think it's about punching up, right?
it's not even about that because a lot of times it won't even they're not even because punching up is more comedies, stuff like that. I'm not even saying like
Hmm.
a lot of the movies that really love movies. I'm thinking of Hugo, as an example. Although that is a movie I enjoy quite a bit, but that's the first one that comes to mind where it's like the entire movie is about the power of cinema and like how it's amazing. So it's not even punching down at anyone else. It's just
Hmm.
like really it reminds me of the Nicole Kidman ad, the AMC one where she's like, "Oh my God, this is so magical. Heartbreak feels good in a place like this." which I wonder if that's
Uh,
where she got divorced. But or she's getting divorced. At least I won't
hey,
feel
maybe
bad.
yeah, no, exactly. Maybe she knows where to go to feel better
Yeah.
about it. That is
Um,
hilarious. Yes.
that's kind of what I mean, but I do enjoy the ones that are sillier. I think the studio I loved, where it's it's showing its appreciation for movies, but then also making fun of uh the industry. Babylon, I think with time I've really liked it. It is that kind of crazy bombastic view
Hmm.
of of Hollywood. And I almost
Hmm.
wonder, given the length of it, it might have been better as a limited series, and then we could have been able to compare Babylon
Yeah,
and
this
um
Bastards of
and
Bollywood.
yeah, I don't know if we want to say
Yeah.
bastards or bads. So
Oh,
um
sure, Bastards of Bollywood. I thought this was a really, really fun watch. Um, I did. I thought that the lead was really good. I thought his performance was really, really good. Like he completely
I
sold me
yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah, I liked him.
I mean,
It's the guy from Kill.
yeah.
And then the guy who plays his best friend is also in Kill, but he's the villain. Uh,
Yeah. I thought the two of them, like their dynamics worked really well for me. They were like pretty solid. I think they carried the show for sure.
I liked their performances.
Hmm.
I didn't quite love the lead as a character.
Yeah. I don't think you're meant to either. I think it's meant to be a little bit of a um like
I
I
think
think
you're
I
supposed
think
to like him.
really I didn't.
Yeah.
Uh, okay,
Yeah,
no. Well,
I didn't like him either, but I think the show wants you to root for him.
oh. Well, I mean I did root for him, but I can also acknowledge that he's like not a great like guy. Uh I don't know. It was an interesting mix for me. Um I did it's like you said, Bobby Deol's performance was great.
Hmm.
Like I think he brought it in every single scene. Um and I yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff we can talk about.
I like
Um
the uncle storyline, his side plot of
yeah.
him, music. I think he was my
Mhm.
favorite character. Um,
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that
Um
actor, but I always like him whenever he shows up.
yeah, I think he's great in Dil Dhadakne though.
He is
If you've
he
watched that,
was
yeah.
recently I have, yeah. He was also, I mean,
Mhm.
just recently in Jigra. I thought he was awesome. I say
That's right,
recently,
right,
that
right,
was
right.
like a year old. But
Yeah. No, no, I thought his performance was great too. The father dying thing was, I mean, it felt like one of those storylines that you kind of add to give your character some like,
yeah,
like gravitas of some sort.
yeah.
Um,
And I feel like it
because
was
it was
undercut by the reveal at the end. But
I agree. I also just generally thought that like I mean they try to sell you on his relationship with his father, but I feel like outside of oh he's an alcoholic, we don't really see much of like the two of them.
yeah,
They felt like they were in. I think I'm turned off when I know that the intent behind a certain scene is to create a certain like when the intent becomes more clear like than effective. I think that's when I get turned off. It's like you can
um,
tell when someone's trying really hard to make something happen.
yeah.
That's when I'm like, okay, whatever. I thought the set design was great. It definitely was a very immersive show for me. Like I
Hmm.
fully bought into like all of it. Like even the BTS, like behind the scenes on the sets and all of that
Yeah.
was like it felt extremely realistic. So I quite enjoyed that. Um,
All right. With that said, let's move on to our scores for bastards slash bads of Bollywood. As a reminder, or if you're new here, the way we score things is on the script cover scale. There is pass um, when we think the show's not the greatest or not so good. Consider when we think it's pretty decent, and recommend when we think it's really great. With that said, how would you rate Bastards of Bollywood?
I think it's a recommend. I enjoyed it. It's a fun watch. It's not like it's not going to change your life. It's just nice. It's just nice to like
Yeah,
put on and yeah,
yeah, I'd
indulge
agree.
in.
It is a very fun watch. I do think I had quite a few issues with it. Mostly stylistically because I don't really
Right.
enjoy the um that this specific style. So I'm gonna give it a strong consider.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I did find it very at the very least very entertaining.
Yeah.
It was a very easy watch.
Exactly. Yeah, no, fun all around, I would say.
Mhm. All right. So clearly you like this. Is there anything else you would like to recommend?
It's not like remotely like connected to Bads of Bollywood, but I watched this
Or,
movie called
whatever you've
Kantara.
been watching.
Yeah, so I
Sorry.
watched this movie called Kantara Chapter 1 over the weekend. It's still in theaters and it's been doing really well. It's a horror drama, I would say. And I absolutely loved it. I was completely blown away by it. Um, this is like definitely not my genre. Like leans into religion quite heavily. And it's horror. I don't indulge in both of those genres, but this movie was just like I don't know, like it was 3 hours long and I was completely glued to the screen throughout. I watched it in a full theater and I just like I loved it, but I think that the fact that I enjoyed it so much, it was very visceral. Like I can't break down to, oh, like this is the element that I liked it. Just overall as an experience, it was like enthralling. So I would definitely recommend this movie.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's a Kannada film.
It
Yeah.
okay. It's in theaters right now?
It is in theaters right now. I think it should actually be playing in the US also.
Okay.
Um, yeah, if you're feeling like you have 3 hours to spend.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So for me, I think I'm gonna recommend something. We already did talk about this before. So watch the
Mhm.
show and then watch our discussion. It's a studio. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I think that
Yeah,
is kind of yeah. That
yeah.
is I think I loved that
Hmm.
show. And that is I don't know, maybe if I didn't see that show, I would have liked this a little bit more because I feel like it was
Yeah,
hard for me to watch this and not think about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because they're very similar shows, and I will
Yeah,
like happily jump on that recommendation because that the studio is so good.
yeah,
It's incredible. Yeah. So no, I will definitely second that recommendation.
yeah. I also watched this movie recently called Am I
Mhm.
Okay? Um,
Okay.
it's uh, it's basically two women. They're best friends. One of them just got offered a job in London. The other
Hmm.
is questioning her sexuality, and she is finally opening up because of that. And I think, listen, this movie was extremely predictable. I could tell you, like, if you told me that concept, I could list out the entire storyline, and I'd probably get everything
Hmm.
everything right.
Hmm. Right. Mhm.
But ultimately, it was still super, super. It still worked because you love the characters you're really invested in, and the relationship. And
Hmm.
whenever it's heartfelt, it does feel heartfelt. When it's supposed to be funny, it is funny. And
Hmm.
I feel like that just goes to show that I feel storytelling matters more than story.
Yeah.
Because again, a very simple story, but if it's told well, it's still super engaging.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Um, are
And
you okay? That's a great question. But no, I will check it out.
yeah. All
Okay.
right. So that is it for this week's episode of Pages Pixels. I'm Rohan.
I'm Kirtana, and we'll see you again next week with a brand new episode. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.